Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun.
All right, well, Jason's welding up the rest of that stuff. We're gonna go ahead and cut two bands to fit inside of the stovepipe for the top and outside of the stovepipe for the bottom. So we're gonna go probably 24 inches. Our measurement is 18 something, but the reality of it is that there's always scrap on either end. So 24 gives us 6 inches of scrap. That should be plenty. Okay, this comes down. Drops onto that. Let's see how we're doing. We're just going to do one for now because I'm not sure how the measurements are going to work out. So we're going to take it over to the roller and roll this out. And I'm thinking we can just do the whole thing right here. So there's almost 6. Let's see what we got. Okay, that didn't do anything, but no problem. So we'll go 7. 7. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we're gonna have to clamp these down. All right, now let's give it a try. I'd say that works pretty good. Okay, obviously that's a pretty big circle. It looks like the scrap is just like minute. That's really cool. So now we come in and cut it at 18 inches. $18 and about 3/4 right there. Okay, so we chopped it off, and this is going to be the right length. Now we just have to roll it until it gets there. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's bring the piece of stovepipe over and see what we got. There's the stovepipe. Okay, so it looks like this is going to go inside better than outside. So let's bring it together better. There we go. All right, that's closer. And it looks like it's just right at the size. So I'm guessing we take another 1/2 inch out of this and it'll slip inside.
Caught her in a wizard's wing.
That
can't
would
be flat.
It'll start a fire.
Okay.
So it's got to be cheaper. So we got to grind that back.
I know better how to do it than me. So that kind of what you mean is just cut it
Pretty much.
and then put a flat piece.
But the way to do it, the easy way to do it, first we got to get the camera so it can see. That way you got a nice flat surface.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is weld it in and grind it off.
You made it look simple. made it simple. Should I try to peel that back out or just...
No, I'd say just go in.
Alright, we're back. It's bright and early Saturday morning. We got a little bit more welding to do on the heat transfer for the stove. Hopefully we can get it done today and get it going and warm the shop up a little bit. So got the welder going, just grab my hood and get started. comfortable enough right there. Got to run across these seams. This is where we weaken the metal. I don't know if you can see very good from there, but we weaken the metal on these seams so we can bend.
Well, Merry Christmas. It's that day of the year, and I'm up in my favorite part of the world, up in my shop. It's freezing cold in here, and although there's no steam yet, but it's still cold. And we built this heatilator for the wood stove, and I've been trying for, I don't know, a week or two now, to come up with a squirrel cage fan. Now, we came up with 2 squirrel cage fans that were in a used or a defunct air conditioner. And the fan was, just about the right size, but man, it just put out the air. I mean, it really cranked. And it just wouldn't work because it's just going to be way too much air. So, and that was all we could find. And and it's usually squirrel cage fans are everywhere, but at this point in time, they weren't. And so, I think what I'm going to do in order to get this heatilator up and functioning, because right now the wood stove is freezing ass cold, is I'm going to go ahead and install it and then maybe put a little box fan behind it just to get some air moving and see if this thing's going to work. So follow along. We've got more to take the stovepipes out, and it looks like I've got some screws up there. So looking down this pipe, I'm seeing very little soot buildup, which means, and it's been probably 4 or 5 years since I've cleaned this, so I think we're in pretty good shape, which in a sense means that this stove leaks air more than it seals it. So that's part of that's not a good deal, but the other part is. So there's our opening. Well, how's that look? Wow! That's a monster. So, let's go up top. And we need to get that top rim in and screw it off. So I'm going to go get a little bit bigger ladder in order to do that. But as far as I can tell, everything looks pretty good. Well, I'd say that's just about a perfect fit. Okay. Now, let's get a level and make sure that we're at least somewhat level. Looks pretty good. Okay. Little kindling, little newspaper. Well, one thing I forgot to do was put a damper into this. So we're going to have to figure out some way, because you can't do it up there because I can't reach it. Maybe some way to get a damper right in here. Some kind of a slide damper. But for the moment, okay, we got just a little bit of a fire going. In the summertime, cedar goes up like a match. In the wintertime, it tends to pick up a little bit of moisture, and it's a bit of a fight, but certainly less of a fight than almost any other wood. Except, of course, fat wood, which comes out of South America somewhere. And that wood, you can literally light it with a match. All right, we got a fire going. And I'll be back in, I don't know, 10 minutes once this thing cranks up a little bit, and we'll see how it works. Okay, we got a fire in the box. We've got this heated up pretty well. We put the fan, we've got this little box fan that I've had forever, and put it behind well, let's just put it behind. Oops, the other way. And it's just pushing hot air like you can't believe. So I think we're going to be in good shape. Especially once we get a squirrel cage and enclose this whole thing, and the squirrel cage will, it won't be a passive blow, it'll be a positive blow. There will be no leaks. So it's in. I think it's going to help, and we'll check in with you later once we find a squirrel cage fan. Hey, anybody got a squirrel cage fan? I need a kind of a smaller one that moves about, I don't know how much air, but not a huge amount of air. So anyhow, this is Nick Collier checking out.